Alrighty. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Shane McPhail here with RoomKey. Nice to see some familiar names out there. We're going to get started shortly. We're just going to get a couple of minutes to let a few more people join. I appreciate all of you showing up early and on time. We're going to just give people a little bit more time to get in here, but I won't keep you waiting too long before we get into it. So stand by and thank you. And for everyone's knowledge here, we are recording this and we'll make it available later. So if you want to share it with other team members, we'll certainly have that available. All right, we're at 1:02 here, 1:02 my time. We'll give it a little bit more time here.
And looks like Claire is on the call.
Perfect. And April or Tasha, if you guys can keep an eye on the lobby there and just admit people, because once I start sharing, I won't be able to see that there. Okay, so let's it's 1:03 my time, so it's 3 minutes after hours. So let's get into it here. I'm going to share my screen for everyone. Okay, so you should be seeing the RoomKeyPMS fetch screen here with our RoomKeyPMS Engage360, which we're going to be reviewing today. So a little bit about today, we are going to spend most of the time looking at fetch and getting a demo of fetch. That's the main reason we're here. We're going to talk a little bit about the integration to RoomKeyPMS as well. And we're going to introduce the team that you'll be meeting here. So for today, my name is Shane McPhail. I'm the product manager here at RoomKey and for Full Swing Vertical. We have April, who is our VP of Sales, and we have Claire, our partner from Fetch, that will be doing the presentation on the demo today. Very excited for you guys to see this today. So I did want to talk about the integration itself. So we did build this as an advanced integration. And really the term that I'm using with integration, I like to say it's embedded into our system. We're really looking at how we can use Fetch as Engage360 and RoomKey to really work with RoomKey and the flow for communication with your guests. That's really what it's all about. How do you keep engaged with your guests? How do you keep in contact with your guests through all points of their stay, pre, during, and post? The other thing with Fetch is their roadmap and what they have planned for the future really aligns with what we want to do here with RoomKey and what we can offer you as our clients. Together, I think we're going to come up with some really good enhancements as we go through this. We'll release more things, and the way that it kind of pairs with RoomKey, especially with our mobile platform, you can see how it can really be powerful together. This is a preferred partnership for us. Fetch, again, has been a great partner of ours. We're really excited what we can do together and what we can bring with you. We're not going to spend too much time on the Q&A because I do want to give as much time to Claire in here. At the end, we're going to have a slide where it will show you who you can contact and reach out to. If you want to do a one-on-one demo with Claire and Michael from our sales team and really ask your questions about how to use it for your specific property or any edge cases that you may have, we can certainly set up that time. But today is really a good intro of what this system is and what it can do. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then Claire, if you want to take it from here, you can start sharing.
Well, Shane, we are having a technical difficulty with Claire.
Yeah.
She is not able to share or speak. So give us one moment, guys, as we work through this technical difficulty with Claire. 1 minute. It looks like you just
I
came
might
off
have
mute.
yes, I think I might have just been granted.
Perfect.
Just trying to turn on my camera as well.
We have granted Claire the power. So
yes, the power to speak. The camera does still seem a bit stuck, but I think my voice and my screen will probably be no more important here. So I'll keep trying that. But in the meantime, maybe I'll go ahead and share my screen so I don't hold everyone up here. Okay. All right. Does this work?
And we are seeing your screen. We're seeing this slide with Fetch Hotels Can. Is that the right one?
Perfect.
Okay, and we can see your camera now, Claire, as well.
Nice, great, perfect.
I'm going to mute myself and hand it over to you.
All right, pleasure to meet everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Shane and April. Wanted to kick things off by just giving a brief overview of Fetch, and then really wanted to spend most of the time showing you around the platform and getting really involved. But at a high level, Fetch really is trying to combine and give you the tools to do a couple of things. We want to let you communicate with your guests, so that's kind of our guest engagements hub. We want to help you collaborate internally to improve your guest experience. And then we want to help you learn at all levels and all parts of the guest journey, and that's where our kind of reviews hub comes in. Our guest engagement tool really is, giving you SMS, WhatsApp, email tools to communicate with your guests while they're on site, surface opportunities. And we want to make all of these opportunities actionable. And that's where we layer on our ticket task management tool to help your teams collaborate internally to resolve those opportunities. And finally, we also do post-stay email surveys, online reviews, help you pull all of those reviews into one dashboard. So really you get a full view of your full guest journey. So an example of what this could look like is, along the entire guest journey, pre-arrival, we're sending out, arrival information, maybe a pre-registration card, opportunities to create the experience. Hey, we're excited to welcome you to the property. Here are a couple of things we want to find out. Upon check-in, there's also ability to help you send your mobile check-in link via send your room key mobile check-in via Fetch, as well as some properties use us to send digital keys and just allow that real-time connection. On site, you then have your full chat concierge service and then your incident management layer on top of it. You can even schedule out notifications for activities on the property with our itineraries. And then on checkout reminders, mobile checkout links, lost and found logs. Really, there's just so many points in the guest journey that you can communicate with them. And then, of course, post-stay and online reviews, as I mentioned. So I wanted to give a quick once over about all of the main modules that we have. Same in that guest journey view. You have your on-site text messaging, post-stay survey, online reviews in terms of getting guest feedback. And then across the entire guest journey, we also layer on your automated SMS broadcasts, as well as your ticket management and a ton of analytics that we layer on to help you learn from all the experiences. So that's what I'm going to be covering at a high level today. I'm going to do a quick pause here and see if you have any questions at this point. Okay, so then I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm just remembering now that we probably want to leave all the questions to the end of this whole section. So I'm going to power through, and then if we have any questions, we can try to cover that at the end. But yeah, let's dive into it. So what you should see here is a split screen of a chat history and like an inbox on the right. Is that showing up well for everyone? Anyone can drop me a quick thumbs up.
Yep, we can see that there.
Okay, perfect. All right, so where we like to usually kick things off is when the guest checks in. Of course, you can send pre-arrival communications as well. But when a guest checks in, we're able to pull your reservation information and as well as updates to your reservation status from RoomKey. We're receiving that real time, so we know exactly when the guest checks in. And from there, automate out messages. So an example of one of those messages can be, welcome to the property on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your stay so far? You can even format these messages to be a survey. So you can try to get, a quantitative number out of the initial experience. So for in this case, if the guest sends a 3, it can then trigger another automated message saying, sounds like we're not off to a great start, but what can we do to help? Kind of prompting them for more comments. We like to start with asking for a rating because that gives you more opportunity to start quantifying a guest experience, but it also lets you get to know, which guests are doing well and not so well and where you should focus your efforts to. Of course, all of these fully customizable, every message sent, every flow. If it's a high rating, this can sound completely different. It can say, what's going well so far? How can we get this to a 10? And then the guest, let's say, responds, there are not enough towels. Then that's going to trigger another automated response saying, thank you for the feedback and our team will get back to you. And you can message this number anytime. So I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of what that flow looks like in real time. So if I send out a 4, that's going to trigger that automated response again. And it's going to prompt for additional comment. So I can say, for example, the toilet is clogged. Okay, and then that's going to close off that survey. So this initial 5-step survey is our pulse check. While this is happening, you're also getting notified real time that you're getting these new messages from your guests. These notifications can come in either via email, via SMS, or just on the dashboard itself. So you'll see on the right here, this is your staff inbox, your front desk inbox. I'm seeing real time that I got a new comment from the guest. I can see all the guest information pulled from your reservation, as well as that SMS comment they left. This is also going on a dashboard, which I'm going to flip to right now for you to see what's going on there. So Fetch is a web-based browser application. So you can log in from any browser system on your mobile, your tablet, your computer. It's optimized for all different device sizes. And when you log in, you will see firstly on the left that you have 3 events kind of tracking your guest journey. You have your on-site engagement, your post-engagement, and your online reviews, but we'll stick on the on-site section for now. So I'm a front desk member, Jane here logged in. I'll see that I have, a couple opportunities open on the property. If I click in there, I'll see that new ticket that James just opened with us for 2 minutes ago with the rating of 4. So these are kind of like your list of conversations that are ongoing. I'll see all the reservation information live from your RoomKey reservation. So if I update the reservation status, arrival, departure date, that all gets reflected live. So you have the most up-to-date information to work through your opportunities. And we also pull past tickets that the guest has opened with us, as long as they're using the same mobile number. So you can also see their past experiences. From there, you then have all the tools to start working through this opportunity. So I have categories that I can tag this for. This could be, for tagging different kind of issues, for flagging code reds. And it's great just to pull analytics at the end of the day because you can pull reports based on your categories. You can also tag in departments. So every team member can have their own login and they can be tagged to departments. So if I tag maintenance in this case, it's going to send a notification to all the maintenance team members that are on shift. You can also set those up. Or tag in a specific staff member. So this way, you know exactly who's working on it, which department's tagged in, and then you have even more tools below to start working through it. So let's say Brent here is going to be hanging up to the room to work on this. He can easily tag in front desk and let them know, hey, I'm on the way up. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Upload some files, pictures of the part that he needs, anything to help him work through this ticket. What's great there is that front desk then knows that maintenance is on it, and they can easily flip over to their guest communication tools, which is your SMS and email tabs, to let your guests know. So if I flip over to SMS here, I'll see the full chat history with the guests, and as they would see it, and you can even see, which team members send the messages, what the send receipts are, and then follow up. Hey, maintenance is going to be there in 20 minutes. You can set up templates for common, responses, common messages. even send them pictures. And we also have an AI tool to help you draft out messages in case, front desk is a bit swamped at the moment. You can customize this tool to help you draft out a message that's relevant to your property. All right. If your guest doesn't have a number on file, you can easily flip over to email section, send them an email. Or if this ticket's a bit complicated and there's a couple items to get ticked off to complete it, you can even add checklist items to the page. So I can say, maybe I need to order a new part. And so from there, I can check it off. I can see who's checked it off, add notes on it, collaborate, assign it to different people. And so this really just makes collaborating so much more easier on your guest requests. You can even track costs associated with the ticket. So this could be internal costs, labor costs, guest compensation costs, and you can pull reports on all of these at the end of the day. So a ton of tools to work through. If, let's say, toilet is resolved and guests are all happy now, you can go ahead and close off this ticket by scrolling to the bottom and hitting close. And that's going to move this ticket from this unresolved list to your resolved list. This just means the unresolved list is a full list of open opportunities on the property, what you're working through at the moment. You can even snooze tickets that are not relevant in the moment. So maybe I'm waiting on a part, I can snooze this off to next week. So it's going to disappear from this list, and next week at the right time, it's going to pop up, notify your team members again. So really, it just keeps this list active for you. It's what everyone's working on at the moment. Of course, opportunities can arise from anywhere other than the automatically created tickets from your messaging. If a guest stops by in person or if they call down the front desk, you can also create tickets manually and log those requests all in the same page. So I can search for all my guest reservations, in-house or future guests. If I click anyone, it's going to populate their information, leave a note, tag in the right departments, create a ticket, or you can even schedule it off for their stay in, let's say, 2 weeks' time. We take this a step further, and Fetch can even also then function more as that ticket task management tool. We do have properties that use us for their maintenance teams, kind of work order schedules or preventative maintenance schedules, and that you can do through scheduled tickets. So you can create recurring schedules of tickets that need to get done on a recurring basis. So let's say a regular pool clean every week at a certain time. Or it can be, front desk audit, a daily tear down. You need to remind your team of, here are the checklists of items that we need to get done. You can set all of those up. And then every week at a certain time, it's then going to create that ticket. You can see when it's next going to get created. You can pause it. Maybe it's only a summer task, so I can pause it until a certain date before it starts picking up again. So really, it's just a powerful task management tool that helps you consolidate, no more sticky notes or reminders being left around or, small group chats. This can all just, anything that needs to get done goes on the same page. Last thing to quickly mention, shift reports. So you can also hand over information, maybe incidences that happen during the shift. You can create a template of handover information, and the team can go through it and fill those out before they log off for the day. So great way to consolidate tools. And then, of course, pull reports at the end of the day. So automate these. You can automate daily digests of all the tickets that were created, all the conversations that were had. And this can go straight to your inbox every morning for your managers to have oversight of what's going on. Ton of statistics you can dive into. I don't want to spend too long here, but basically a good side of, how long are we taking to resolve tickets, respond to tickets, what times of day we're getting the most number of incidences. So it's great for manpower kind of allocation and planning. So ticket management is where everything's coming in. It's where we're resolving things. Messaging module is where we're kind of sending things out. So here is where it gets really exciting to me personally. You can set up, your single broadcast. This is emergency notification, one-time upsells, specific check-in instructions for that day. You can basically set up that message, send it out now, or you can even schedule it out for a later date. And you can customize your message. So if I hover over here, I'll see a list of fields that I can use to customize that messaging. So if I say, hi, first name, it's going to pull the first name of your guest from your reservation and say, hi, David, hi, John. So it sounds nice and personal. And then from there, you can select how you want to select your guests. This can be through just sending it to all in-house guests. Maybe, hey, lives broken down, everyone that's here, please note. Or maybe special check-in instructions. I want to send it to all the guests that are arriving this Saturday only. From there, we take it one step further. We are also pulling in a lot of guest profile markers from your reservation. So you're able to add additional filters to your messaging. So if, let's say that lift breakdown is only relevant to guests of a certain building code, or maybe that check-in instructions only relevant to a certain guest type or rate type, you can also pull those markers in to help segment your messaging. Just make sure you get the right messages to the right guests. One step further, as we always do, there's also recurring broadcasts. So this is really thinking about your entire guest journey and what touch points you want to have with your guests are. Pre-arrival communications, on-site, post-checkout. So for example, here, pre-arrival message that needs to go out every day to all the guests that are arriving tomorrow. So I can easily select arrival departure date and send it one day before arrival. Or, you can start getting really creative and say, I want to do a mid-stay upsell. I can say one day after arrival, I want to send it to all the guests who are staying at least over 3 nights. So it's, really thinking about all the touch points you want to have for the different kinds of guests you have to make sure they are engaged in the way that, you would like to best. So that's recurring broadcasts. And then we take it one more step further and we can also do reservation status automation. So if a guest reservation status changes, let's say they check in or check out, we can real-time send them a broadcast message. Maybe 5-minute delay, I want to send them something specific about their room. Or maybe upon checkout within 60 minutes, I want to send them their post-stay survey via a link so they can fill it up on the way out of the property. So this is getting even more granular to that messaging with your guests. Everything that's going out here, you can receive it in your logs. You can see all the messages that are sent. If they failed, you can hover and see why they failed. So it's fully trackable. You can even export all the messages. And everything that's coming in here, if you receive a response for them, it's going to open a ticket as it did before, and you can react and respond that way. So a lot of things are going on in the action section, and that's where analytics really comes in helpful for you to understand what's going on and learn from it. So the first is the analytics dashboard. This is where you're pulling in that, hey, how is your stay going on a scale of 1 to 10 survey, SMS survey that we send at the start of the stay. And you can see a breakdown of all your responses, average score, trends. And you can even do a room analysis where we're pulling in the surveys and tickets based on every room or location and property. So you can see that, say, room 143 here has a ton of surveys and tickets. I can see what's going on. Are there any trends? So we can be a bit proactive in our maintenance or resolution. Okay, and then we know some nuances lost in just looking at numbers, and that's why sentiment analysis gets really helpful to get a glance of what are key things that are popping up in the property that we should dive a bit deeper into. So AI is really good here in helping us pull out key concepts. A guest might mention bathroom, washroom, toilet, WC, really they're talking about the same thing, and it's hard to know that without having someone tag every ticket manually, or just using AI to do it for you. So an example here is you can see some concepts that are coming up. This is my demo account, I always say, so sorry, I'm always showing the negative case. But of course, you'll have a list of positive concepts as well. But if I click insufficient towels in my concept search, which is our AI search, you'll be able to see that list of tickets, surveys, guests that mention something to do with not having enough towels, even if they don't mention insufficient directly. So really making use of AI to dive deep. And then from there, you can then, go back to your tickets and do issue analysis. And then we pull this on a timeline level as well. So you can see every month, what are the key positive, negative concepts that are arising. And is the property kind of working in or trending in the right direction to resolve them. All right, so everything that I mentioned so far is just for your on-site text messaging communication. And then we also layer this on for your post-stay survey. So we're sending out automated email surveys when your guest checks out. The emails and the surveys are fully branded and fully customizable. And when you do receive a response in one of those surveys, it opens a ticket as it did before. You can see that guest information. You can open and see that full survey. This is a pretty short one. But what's great is you have the same tools to then work through the ticket. So you can categorize it, tag in different department and staff to discuss the ticket, discuss the survey, and then easily flip over to your email or SMS tabs to respond and let your guests know that you've heard them and that you're taking their feedback into consideration. You also have analytics layered on top. Let me switch here. So you can see an issue breakdown of all your analytics, month on month, what the top positive, negative guests are, and how your average score trends are affected by, let's say, the number of responses you're getting. We also do a scorecard breakdown of all the questions that you have in your survey and how the average trends monthly or weekly. So you can start getting looking at every type of issue that you want to understand about your guest experience and see how they're trending. And of course, we do the sentiment analysis on top of that as well. And last thing to mention, online reviews. So we're pulling in online reviews from 5 different sites: TripAdvisor, Hotels, Booking, Expedia, and Google. If there are more that you want, we can also do that. And every time you get a new review on one of those sites, it opens the tickets and notifies you, so you know real time in the same way that we do it for the previous 2 sections. And you can see that full review here. And you also have the response tabs. Depending on the site, if it's Google, you can respond directly. If it's other sites, then we have different means. Sometimes we leave a link, sometimes there's a UI there for you to respond. So that consolidates your responses and your notifications, but we also then consolidate your analytics. So you're getting an overall analysis of your online reviews, broken down monthly, weekly, and then we also break it down by every source type. So you can see which sources are kind of most important to you, both in averages as well as your volumes. And then we also do a review comparison. So we can pull in 5 different comp set properties and track their average ratings and scores compared to yours, as well as your rankings on the different sites. So that is the full kind of guest journey. We're tracking and consolidating really guest feedback from on-site posts to online reviews. And what's great about having all-in-one dashboard, really oftentimes we help properties replace a couple of tools all in one. But also then you can start plotting and tracking out the entire guest journey on the same page. If I get an online review, I can easily flip over to my post-day section and see, you know, what was the post-day survey they left us there, who responded to them, did we respond timely enough, and then flip over to your on-site section and see, hey, actually, what was their communication on property like, which team members were involved in communicating with them, and really know which part of the guest journey your team is doing an amazing job uplifting guest experience, and which part maybe we could do a little bit better. And that's Fetch in a nutshell. There are other tools and analytics that I would love to dive into and share more about. We can also do automated kind of notifications for, let's say, bookings and activities, but a bit conscious of time. So how am I doing on time right now? Do we have another 10 minutes or so, Shane and April?
Claire, we have another half an hour booked for this. So
Okay.
I'd say, and even if we finish a bit early, I'm sure people will appreciate the time back. But I'd say let's do another 10 minutes because I think what you're showing here is really good. So let's keep on going.
Okay, sounds good. So the one other module I wanted to mention as well is the itineraries module. So this is a new module for us, and we're still in the works of kind of deepening any integration with RoomKey. So right now, I'd say it's not integrated, but just to show you a flavor of what's available and how it could work, you're able to pull in your reservations, your room reservations, to create an itinerary for the guest. So really, it's a e-concierge service to track activities that are being booked for the guest. So let's say I'm booking a table reservation on property. I can set that up and schedule that out, and also track like the reservation status. So if we go ahead and do an example of that, let's say I do restaurant A, start date, and say it's confirmed. I can create an itinerary here, which I can then track and set up notifications for. So I can set up, let's say, a reminder for spa activities or table reservations 30 minutes before via SMS, and just set up what message I want to send to them. And I can also share the entire itinerary with the guests via email or via a link, which brings them to a live web page of the itinerary. Yeah, so you can build all of that out, and really it's just great to automate that notification schedule, because oftentimes guests aren't checking their emails when they're on private property, if they're on holiday, to remember that what time their reservations are for everything. So being able to consolidate this for them, if you have a concierge team, or has someone on the property that does that for your guests, it's just a great way to keep them engaged and reduce no-show or late arrivals. So that is itineraries. But yeah, I actually think that might be all I had to cover today. So maybe now is a good time to take a pause and see if there are
is
any
one question.
questions. Yeah.
Claire, from Joe. Joe was asking, can you do blast marketing emails?
So Fetch is primarily a guest communication tool, and we really focus on that on-site and guest experience. So we don't really have the tools to do marketing or massive email blasts. We are soon setting up and releasing tool to do email communications, automated email communications about the guest stay, but not marketing to non-guest emails or email lists.
Perfect. Looks like there's a couple other questions that might be getting typed into the chat, so we'll just give them a couple of seconds to finish typing. It would, so a follow-up to Joe's question, it would be for current guests. So I would not be able to send out a discount. We do a monthly flyer to past guests. Is the follow-up to his. Can you do blast marketing emails?
It would be for current guests, so not able to send out a discount. No, so we don't save all past guest emails. The main contact information I do save is guests that are on site and future guests, so guests that are already reserved and booked. So yeah, so I, for that massive blast or marketing emails, that for that use case, I don't think we really optimize for that. But if you do want to send an email blast for current guests or guests who have their reservations booked already, then that would be possible in the lead up to their stay.
Okay, the next question is, can you generate periodical reports on tickets? Example, maintenance tickets. Example, so toilet has been clogged so many times in the past week, etc.
Yep, definitely. So you can set up, like I mentioned, automated report here. And because you have all those tags, you can set up a report utilizing those tags. So for example, HVAC issues, and I can set this up to go out, let's say every week on a Monday, to a certain list of staff members or managers. I can filter by your department. And then I can send this out either as an email, which is going to be a nice readable form, like a digest of all your tickets, or I can set this up as a CSV file, so you can get good analytics on it because we break it down by which team members were tagged in, what time it was created, who created it, who closed it. So you can then run additional analytics on these tickets as well. But yeah, you can generate recurring reports for sure.
Perfect. And then the next comment is, can you briefly discuss the automation of how work orders can be auto-assigned to specific employees based on the active work shift? The Fetch portal doesn't need to be monitored 24/7 to have task auto-assigned, correct?
Yes, correct. Thanks, Michael. Michael has sat in so many of these sessions with me. He helps remind me about all the tiny parts that people ask about. So yeah, you're correct. So work orders, we have an AI tool that helps you automatically tag departments and categories in. So if you have that tool turned on, it basically looks at your ticket description or the request or the guest comment. It looks at all your departments and it then tags in the most relevant one. You can also customize this by adding a list of common issues each department faces, as well as defining a default department if none of the issues are relevant. And you also then have the ability to set up every team member on the property with a login, as well as notification schedules. So they will only receive a notification. Let's say if it automatically tags maintenance in, it will only tag the team members or send notification to the team members who are on shift at the moment. So that really helps automate that process of getting information from your guests, creating ticket, informing the relevant department of the ticket, and ensuring that it gets to the relevant team members in each department of the ticket almost seamlessly. If a front desk isn't available at the moment to tag off a ticket to a department, you don't have to worry that tickets are kind of sitting there waiting. And the other thing that Michael mentioned also was that. Yeah, we also have, other than the auto assignment, we also have auto responses. So, just because you have a chat concierge available doesn't mean you need to have someone monitoring the inbox 24/7. If, you don't usually have a team member on shift at night, you can set up like an out of office auto response, letting your guests know what time someone will get back to them in the morning. And you have a ton of ways to customize that. So we have tools to, let's say, delay. You can have tools to set up an automated response, like thanks for your feedback, we'll get back to you shortly. But you can also set up like a 15 or 10-minute delay before you send that message. So if a staff member is able to respond before then it doesn't send out. And if your staff member doesn't have time to respond before then it sends out. So it's kind of a fail-safe measure. So I think one thing to note about Fetch is, because we've been doing this for a while and we're always customizing the solution based on guest feedback, we have a lot of very thoughtful tools with regards to text messaging and how things are scheduled, just to make things flow a bit smoother for your guests. So another example here is we have tools to customize the broadcast. For example, if a guest has a ticket open with the property already, so they're talking about some issue that's going on, and if you want to schedule out a promotional message mid-stay, you can ignore bookings with open tickets. So this way, a guest is waiting on some part of the room to be fixed that isn't getting blasted with like, hey, come down for Taco Tuesday. So that's just being a bit mindful of the communication. Same thing with like handling multiple bookings using the same mobile number. You can also customize those, who's going to be receiving those messages. One other common question that comes up as I talk through it now is, what if a guest says they don't want to receive messages? So that's a common one, and there's a couple ways to work through it. You can easily reply stop, as you can with any messages, to stop receiving them. But you can also manage them in your block list. So if a guest stops by front desk and say, hey, I don't really want to receive any more messages, you can easily add their number to the block list, and you can block any outbound messages to them. Or you can also block inbound messages if somehow a spammer got a hold of your property phone number and they're messaging in. I mentioned this briefly earlier as well, but we also do have a WhatsApp integration. So if your property has a lot of international guests, or if you know your guest profile and they don't usually utilize SMS, you can also have a WhatsApp tab enabled for you to communicate with the guests via WhatsApp. Okay, any other questions? Yes, so it does notify. Yep, so you can set up notification for your team members. I'm going to flip over there really quickly to show you what's going on. So for every team member that you set up, you can set up a notification email and mobile number for them if they want to have the mobile number attached. And when they get tagged, or when a ticket gets tagged to the department or to them, then they'll receive a notification via SMS.
Table.
Right.
We need to figure out which, so the compliance calculation on the maximum rent plus utility value is put correctly. We don't have that.
Any other questions? See some typing, but I'm not sure if there's anything else. Maybe we can go ahead, Shane. And another great feature that I really value is the ability for a digital concierge, where you can set up customized responses to reply to guest questions like, when does the pool or lobby close? What time is happy hour? Yeah, etc.
Yeah, great point, Michael. So this is a new feature of ours, and it is in beta now. But the couple customers that we have on it has had very good feedback. So we're looking to roll this out on a larger scale, but it's our AI conversations tool. So you're able to define like a list of common property information. We'll basically send you a template you can fill out, FAQs, restaurants near the property, things like that. And so when you get a message from a guest about one of those questions, the AI tool is able to automatically respond to that question for you. And if the message is not something it knows how to respond, is not a question from one of those FAQs, it can then create a ticket in your unresolved section for you. So that even helps filter away another portion of tickets or questions that are coming in, and really narrow down anything that opens on the dashboard to be something that you need to take a look at. Awesome. Thanks for bringing up all these amazing features, Michael.
Mhm.
There, I may have missed it as well, but in the broadcast section, the filters, and we've set it up to pull in the different. Sorry, Claire, there's someone in the background there. There we go. To pull in fields from our reservation messages as well. So we have client in RoomKey, we have client type, we have market segment and whatnot. You can even do it down to rate type, I believe. Can you just show that? I know it's not set up for RoomKey, but just show where that filtering is in the broadcast.
Yeah, definitely. So in the broadcast, once you select how you want to select your recipient, for example, in-house here, then you have your additional filters. And that's where you can start utilizing this to segment your messaging. For example, here, a number of children, I can select under, over a certain number of children. Most of the time, it's just if they have any children at all, or a guest type, or room types. And these are all kind of open fields that you'd use based on the codes that you've set up on your site.
Exactly. So that's pulling in from RoomKey the different codes that you have set up in your properties, the different market segments and whatnot, so you can really customize those messages. Okay, so I think we're at 142 here. I don't see any typing in the Q&A. So Claire, I think if you want to stop sharing there, I'm going to share our side again.
Perfect.
And
All right. So I'll go ahead and wrap us up once you get to that slide.
sorry, I went back to the beginning there.
There we go. All right. So as you guys can see, RoomKeyPMS Engage360 is what we're calling this product. Powered by Fetch is designed to do more than just streamline communication with your guests. It's really an opportunity for you to grow your business by freeing up your team and personalizing the guest journey and really just creating those memorable moments to drive guest loyalty and really drive ROI at your property. So all the features that Claire went through, we hope that you find those really valuable through this product, and we're really excited about bringing it to life through RoomKey for you. So over to the next slide. Thank you very much, Shane. So to get started, it's really simple. All you need to do is just reach out to Michael Mitchell. For those of you who have not met him, he is on this presentation with us today. We'll make sure that that you have his contact information. If you don't know him, Michael, just feel free to type your email address into the chat. But we are offering a promotion. If you want to get started, we are offering the first month free to all RoomKey clients if you sign up by August 31st. Michael is ready to get you started. He will do a personalized quote. And then also, if you'd like a demo or have any other questions, he's ready to get started. But we are ready, locked and loaded. The product is ready. And if you have any other questions, we still have some time. And that concludes our presentation today. We really appreciate everybody attending, and thank you, Claire and Shane, for your time as well.
Thank you
Yes,
so much,
indeed.
April. Thanks,
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, thank you everyone for attending. We'll make sure we get this recording out so you can share it to any team members. And by all means, set up a direct demo with Michael Mitchell if you want to dive in a bit more and see how it can, what it can do for your property.
That's right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great
Thank you,
day.
everyone.